Election results will tell you who is headed for a November runoff in some of the key races from Tuesday's primary. There's a new millionaire in Southern California after winning in the Mega Millions, but they didn't even hit the big jackpot. How much you could win in the next drawing? Hello, everyone. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. The race for California's open Senate seat is down to two people, Democrat Adam Schiff and Republican Steve Garvey. A lot of political experts expected them to face off in November, but what happened at Adam Schiff's victory rally in Hollywood was not expected.
I want to thank... So lucky to live in a democracy where we all have the right to protest.
More than a dozen protesters interrupted his speech Tuesday night. The campaign says they're taking it in stride. And here's what Schiff said before the interruption.
You helped us build the biggest grassroots campaign for Senate in California history, and I cannot thank you enough.
Republican Steve Garvey held a victory party in Palm Desert, and when he took the stage, the very first thing he said was, "Let's celebrate."
Welcome to the California comeback. What you are all feeling tonight is what it's like to hit a walk-off home run.
Garvey entered the race pretty late in the game. He announced his candidacy in October. But within the last week, polls showed he'd be in a position to advance to the general election. After his speech, the former Dodger threw a few baseballs to the crowd. One of the most closely watched races in LA County is for district attorney. The current DA, George Gascon, appears poised to advance to a November runoff with Republican challenger Nathan Hochman. Well, Hochman was one of 10 people running to unseat Gascon. The current DA was elected 4 years ago, promising to usher in a series of progressive reforms. But his critics say he's soft on crime.
What I'm going to do in the general election is unify that 75% of people who have rejected George Gascon.
There has been our community has been impacted by so much misinformation. I think actually, given the totality of the circumstances, I think it will be healthy to have a general election for this office, and I look forward to that.
Hochman is a former U.S. Assistant Attorney General. He unsuccessfully ran for California Attorney General against current AG Rob Bonta in 2022. California's general election will happen on November 5th. After their Super Tuesday wins, President Biden and former President Trump are heading toward what is expected to be a historic rematch. NBC News has learned Nikki Haley will drop out of the presidential race. This is according to NBC News, citing sources with direct knowledge of Haley's plans. The source also says she will not immediately endorse Donald Trump, who effectively becomes the presumptive Republican nominee.
All of the problems that you have today, I don't think you would have had any of them. You'd only have success, and that's what's ultimately going to unify this country and unify this party.
Donald Trump is closing in on the number of delegates needed to clinch the nomination. Limited Amtrak service is resuming on the train tracks through San Clemente. The Orange County Transportation Authority says Amtrak's Pacific Surf Liner rail line will resume for 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. There will be no midday service while crews build a wall to protect the tracks. That section of the rail was shut down in late January because of a landslide. Metrolink is not resuming service yet. There was no big winner in the Mega Millions lottery drawing, but a $2 million ticket was sold in Southern California. Somebody got lucky out there. That ticket matched 5 of 6 numbers in Tuesday night's drawing. It was sold at a Stater Brothers in Cathedral City near Palm Springs. It's worth $2.1 million. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is an estimated $687 million. So yes, there's still a chance. All right, it's time to check in with meteorologist Belen de Leon, tracking another storm moving into Southern California.
Okay, another storm is moving through. On Wednesday is when we're going to get the most accumulation, between 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Meanwhile, in the mountains, that's where we're going to have the snow. A winter weather advisory is in effect. Now, on Thursday, it's going to be a drier day, but we may still see some lingering showers, especially during the afternoon hours. In the mountains, you want to avoid travel there Wednesday and Thursday. That's where we have an advisory in effect. Above 6,000 feet, we could see from 2 to 7 inches. The snow level high enough to where we're not going to see any impacts to the passes, but we could see a dusting as low as 4,500 feet. Avoid travel in the mountains. It's going to be slippery. And then from Thursday through Friday, we're going to have high surf at the coast. This is where surf is expected to reach heights between 4 to 8 feet and sets up to 11 feet. Stay out of the water and be safe, everyone. A sunnier weekend is in store.
The man accused of driving under the influence and killing 3 women in Pomona over the weekend is now facing murder charges. The victims were on their way home from a baby shower when investigators say Victor Cijarez was speeding and slammed into their car. Alejandro Olaez, Lorena Morales, and Yesenia Ochoa died. A 12-year-old daughter of one of the women and Lorena's husband were both injured.
My cousin's husband, you know, he lost his wife and his sister, and now he has to take care of my nephew, who my cousin was trying to adopt, and his nieces and nephew, who Alejandra left behind, you know.
The DA says Cijarez had a prior DUI conviction in San Bernardino County in 2014. That's why he was charged with 3 counts of murder in this case. You will not be able to get free COVID tests from the government soon. The U.S. Postal Service will stop accepting orders for free COVID test deliveries after Friday. The free tests are a part of a government program that was restarted last November. The latest suspension of the program comes after the CDC relaxed its COVID isolation guidelines last week. We have new video of a mountain lion running through a Sierra Madre neighborhood. Take a look at this. This sighting happened along Grandview Avenue, and video shows the big cat just roaming through the front yards of homes before darting back into the foothills. People in the neighborhood have reported seeing a mountain lion over the past few weeks, and it's unclear if this is the same one. French officials have announced they are cutting back on the number of people who will be allowed to watch the opening ceremony at the Paris Olympics. That number will be capped at 325,000 people. 2 years ago, organizers had proposed making the festivities accessible to almost double that number, as many as 600,000 people. Police slashed that number last month, citing potential security risk. For the first time in the history of the Summer Olympic Games, the opening ceremony will not take place in a stadium. Instead, it'll be held along the Seine River. LA Mayor Karen Bass is headed to Paris to meet with its mayor and business leaders. The visit comes as LA prepares to host the 2028 Olympics. It's going to be our turn soon. The mayor, along with other LA officials, are getting an up-close look at the impact on public transportation, commutes, security, the impact on people who live in Paris. That's all important. And our very own Today in LA's Lynette Romero is on her way to Paris, and she'll report from there starting Thursday morning on Today in LA. So be sure to tune in. Hollywood's award season wraps up this Sunday night with the Oscars, and among the nominees is Annette Benning, who's up for Best Actress. Mark Barger talked to Benning about her latest nomination and her next project, which begins streaming next week on NBC's Peacock.
Well, I'm doing a test swim down in Mexico. Come, let me show you what I got.
For Annette Benning, it's a 5th Academy Award nomination, Best Actress for Nyad, playing real-life marathon swimmer Diana Nyad.
I am, I'm kind of stunned by it all, but no, it's great fun. I feel really grateful.
Benning spent a year training for the role, which saw her spend lots of time in the water.
You know, sometimes when you do something, nothing happens and no one pays attention and things just disappear into the ether. And other times people like it. So it's much better when they like it.
In her newest role, Benning plays a woman adrift.
Happy retirement, Mom and Dad.
In Peacock's new limited series, Apples Never Fall.
I just thought, wow, I'm interested in this. It was great fun to plunge in.
Benning stars as Joy Delaney, who goes missing months after she and her husband Stan, played by Sam Neill, take in Savannah, a mysterious stranger.
Isn't there anyone that we can call?
Maybe she should have gotten a puppy instead of bringing Savannah in.
You know what? You're right. That would have solved the whole thing. We never would have had to even make the series.
But then Benning's co-stars would have missed out.
She's such a warm and open, giving sort of an actor, and funny as hell.
What happened at Wimbledon?
It was a true dream come true. Like, I honestly get sort of emotional talking about it.
Come this Sunday,
I love the work, and I love doing the work.
Benning may see her own Oscar dream come true. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Queen of country pop, Shania Twain, has a lot to be proud of. Not only is she a Grammy winner and one of the best-selling artists of all time, but now she has her own Barbie. This is pretty cool, and it's modeled after one of her iconic looks. So Twain wore this famous outfit for her hit song, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And now 25 years later, it's the inspiration for her Barbie. How cool is that? Well, Twain says she chose her Barbie's outfit to share her classic self with fans. As Barbie's 65th anniversary approaches on March 9th, Mattel is honoring Twain and other global role models with one-of-a-kind dolls in their likeness. Pretty cool. Well, Target is taking on competitors, Walmart and Amazon, with a paid membership program. It's called Target Circle 360, and it includes free same-day delivery on orders over $35 and free two-day shipping. The program will launch in April for $49 a year. 4 sea lion pups were released back into the ocean. They were rescued last year after toxic algae was found in the water. It severely affected sea lions all across Southern California, causing them to get very sick. The Marine Mammal Care Center had been caring for them until they were strong enough to get back into the ocean. And check out these two, healthy and ready to go. And off they go. So glad to see them happy and healthy. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4, weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with the traffic reports throughout the morning commute. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.